On NewsHour tonight, terrorists abduct 20, kill one onion farmer in fresh attack on Borno community. Ex-AGF Malami, former army chief Buratai, Farouk Yahaya, denied terror financing allegations. Military jet crashes in Niger community. Apologies, in Niger community. And away from Nigeria, 15 people killed in South Africa mass shooting. Good evening and welcome to NewsHour on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. At least 20 onion farmers, including women and children, have been abducted by Boko Haram terrorists in Kunduga local government area of Borno State. The incident occurred at Malari, a village under the council area, in the early hours of Friday. A source familiar with the incident said most of the victims were working as laborers on the farm. The latest attack comes days after a similar incident in the same community where 8 farmers were abducted took place. Sources, including eyewitnesses, say the attackers arrived at the roadside farmland on motorcycles around midnight and took the farmers away. The police is yet to confirm the incident. Now joining us via phone call to provide an update is Media Trust Northeast Bureau Chief Hamisu Matazu. Good evening, Matazu. Thank you for joining NewsHour tonight.
Good evening.
All right, what more can you tell us about the situation that took place in Kunduga local government area yesterday?
What I can say actually about what happened in Kunduga is that, I think last Friday, there was a similar report that some onion farmers were abducted. And just yesterday, or I can say on Friday, another set of onion farmers were said to be abducted. The latest of it is that after pressing much on the police to speak on that, I contacted the public relations officer and he denied anything that nobody was abducted in Kunduga local government area. And he said that he reached out to all the outposts there, and specifically in the area where the farmers were said to have been abducted, but there was no information about that. What we can say is just to give a timeline of what happened previously. The abduction of the 13 female farmers in Askira Uba local government area.
Matazu,
hello?
Matazu,
yes.
Before you get into the timeline, I want to understand you correctly. You're saying that the police in the state are saying they don't have any idea and they've reached out to their outpost about this attack that supposedly or allegedly took place on Friday?
Yes.
So where
they reached out to them, and all the outpost signal indicated that such incident did not occur.
So the people who are saying the story, have you been able to get to this community to find out for yourself if the words of the security operatives is actually the true position of things?
Most times we rely on information from people maybe coming out from communities where there is no network. And we cannot completely dispel that that the story did not happen or it happens, because we can, unless maybe we dig more into it. But for now, The situation is dicey because some people are saying that the female farmers were abducted, while the police deny it, saying that nothing like that happened. So I think we need to go deeper to find out the true situation of things.
Yeah, apparently this story, this situation took place in the early hours of Friday, 5th of December 2025. This is over 24 hours, almost going to 48 hours. And the police are saying that there is nothing happening. Maybe we need to actually go dig down to find out this, to be sure that, and certain that this information is correct. But you could go back to the timeline you wanted to give us earlier.
Okay, it's just I can say one because we are taking just for this week and the last week. If you remember very well, on November 23rd, about 13 teenage farmers were abducted in Mosa, Askira Uba, in the southern part of Borno State. All of these female farmers abducted were between the ages of 15 and 20. And on November 25th, the military was able to secure the, I think, it was able to rescue those female farmers, and they were reunited to their families. But with the wave of this abduction that is coming up, is to many people here is alien, because abduction is not part of what has been happening here in the past. But of recent, the cases of abduction is coming up as something very new here. What I will say today, I think in the last 2 days, the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, was in Goza, Askira Uba, and Damboa, following some of the coordinated attacks that happened by the Boko Haram insurgents. And over the past week, it resulted to loss of lives. Okay. And he was there to condole with the families and also to assess the situation, speak with the military and see areas where he can intervene. Today, I learned that he was in Askira Uba, and at the same time he went to Goza, where he met the military there and acknowledged their sacrifices, especially those in the front line, and also the soldiers of the 25th Task Force Brigade. He assured them of the state government support and also the cooperation of citizens, which he is engaging.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Matazu, that's from the government side. Let's go to the security. That's our last question before we let you go. From the spate of attacks that you've mentioned over the past 2 weeks, has there been any significant beef up in the security around these areas that seem to see these abductions take place?
Well, it's a question I cannot answer because in some of these areas, in some of the areas there were no network, and I was not able to access some of the areas. But based on what is happening, the gain that the military have recorded in recent days, with the rescuing of the 13 farmers. And they fell, I think, about 3 attacks in both southern and the northern part of the state. I can say that there is a change of strategy on the side of the military, and it's yielding results.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Hamisu Matazu, for your insights on the situation in Borno State.
Thank you.
Moving on from that, the former Chief of Army Staff and former Ambassador to Benin Republic, Lieutenant General Buratai, retired, has strongly denied claims linking him to terrorism financing. He described the allegation as false and completely contrary to the principles he upheld throughout his military career. The retired general responded in a statement signed and issued by former Army spokesperson Brigadier General Sani Kukasheka Usman, retired on Saturday. According to the statement, the accusation was baseless, misleading and deliberately crafted to damage his name. The statement emphasized that Buratai has never been investigated, questioned, charged or linked to any terrorism-related financing by any security or intelligence agency throughout his career. According to the statement, no official body, military, diplomatic, judicial or administrative panel has ever associated the former army chief with funding terrorism. The statement further noted that the report was based solely on personal claims by retired Major General Danjuma Alikefi, which it described as malicious and entirely unfounded. Similarly, former Chief of Army Staff, retired Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, has dismissed as false and malicious allegations linking him to individuals purportedly involved in terrorism financing. The allegation, credited to retired Major General Danjuma Alikefi and published by Sahara reporters, claimed the former army chief had ties to suspected terror financiers. But Yahaya, in a statement issued on his behalf by retired Brigadier General Sani Usman on Saturday in Abuja, described the claims as spurious, baseless and entirely untrue. Yahaya accused Alikefi of pursuing a personal vendetta rooted in disciplinary actions taken against him while in service, adding that the publication was malicious and devoid of factual foundation. He also faulted Sahara reporters for publishing the allegations without verification, saying doing so was irresponsible and damaging to public trust. The former army chief demanded an immediate retraction from Alikefi, Sahara reporters and others circulating the report, warning that failure to do so would attract legal action to protect his name and reputation. In a related development, former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has denied any link to terrorism finance and following a recent publication that referenced his name in connection with alleged terror suspects and purported financiers. In a statement he posted on his official social media platforms on Friday, Malami described the allegations as unfounded and unfair, stressing that he has never been investigated, interrogated or charged by any security or intelligence agency within or outside Nigeria over terrorism, financing or related offences. Malami noted that the retired military officer cited in the report had explicitly stated that he was not accusing him or other individuals of financing terrorism. Rather, the claims referenced alleged business or institutional relationships involving some suspects. Details, Malami said, were subsequently distorted into misleading narratives that his political opponents exploited for mischief. Highlighting his tenure as Attorney General, Malami pointed to several reforms he championed that directly strengthened Nigeria's anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks. These included the establishment of an independent Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the enactment of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022, and the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. An Alpha jet belonging to the Nigerian Air Force has crashed in Niger State, Trust TV has learned. The jet crashed at NAF base in Kainji, Niger State shortly after takeoff. It was learned that the aircraft developed an emergency. The development, according to sources, prompted the pilots to act swiftly. The NAF spokesperson, Ehime Ejodame, confirmed the incident to our correspondent.
Ambro over. Guna see for the Alpha Jet. Yanzu Nigeria ya faɗi nan.
Now, joining us via phone call to give us an update in the situation in Niger State is correspondent Abubakar Kote. Good evening. Thank you for joining NewsHour tonight.
Good evening.
Kote, could you tell us what information the NAF spokesperson gave you about the aircraft or jets crashing in Niger State?
The incident we learned around 4 p.m. at Karenwood, a community in the local government area of Niger State. The local government was reported the two pilots when the case have been successfully ejected from the fighter jet.
All right, so there are no casualties or fatalities from this incident today?
Yes.
Have they been able to point out what exactly happened and caused the crash?
That the cause has not been established. The area has been under terrorist siege for the country, which many believe that have prompted the airport operation this evening. There are a lot of kidnappings in the area for the party and even the party community. But for now, the cause of the crash has not been established.
All right, so that's it. Nobody's dead, and the situation has been put under control. I believe the environment is safe and secure now.
Yes, the residents have said that no casualty and no residential buildings were affected. The place is under control now. So the local jet has been reported, or damage to any building has been reported.
All right. Thank you so much, Akote, for your update on the crash update in Niger State today.
Thank you.
Moving away from that, the immediate past chairman of the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission, Muhuyi Magaji, has revealed the real reasons behind his arrest by the Nigerian police. Trust TV reported that heavily armed operatives of the Nigerian police who identified themselves as members of the Inspector General of Police IGP squad from Abuja whisked the former Anti-Corruption Commission chairman from his Kano office on Friday. Speaking to DCL Hausa on Saturday, Raymond Gado confirmed that he was released after spending more than 24 hours in police detention. According to him, his arrest was linked to his role as the lead prosecution counsel in the multi-billion naira Dala Inland Dry Port case involving the immediate past All Progressives Congress National Chairman Abdullahi Umar Ganduje and his family. The lawyer also alleged that he demanded to see the arrest warrant, but the officers declined, saying he could only see it in Abuja. He added that the police have released him on bail and instructed him to report back in Abuja on Wednesday, while also surrendering his international passport. Governors of the All Progressives Congress APC, under the aegis of the Progressive Governors Forum PGF, have praised the economic reforms undertaken by the Tinubu's administration and have resolved to strengthen local security architecture in all the states under their control. The governors made the resolve during their meeting in Lagos State on Friday 5th and Saturday 6th December 2025. The meeting was convened by the chairman of the forum, Hope Uzodinma, Governor of Imo State, and hosted by Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State. The engagement provided an opportunity to review the nation's current trajectory, deepen coordination among the governors, and reaffirm the forum's unwavering support for the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu. The commitment to security followed a rise in reported abductions and violence across the country, especially in the northern region. During the meeting, the forum reviewed the security situation across the country and expressed appreciation for the improved coordination between federal, state and local security structures, as well as the courage and sacrifices of security agencies and community volunteers.
The forum noted ongoing efforts at food security, power sector improvement, transport and infrastructure upgrades, social investment and support for productive enterprises, and pledged to align state policies to maximize the benefits of these reforms. The Progressive Governors Forum called on all Nigerians to continue to support the Renewed Hope agenda, engage constructively with their leaders, and uphold the values of hard work, patriotism, and mutual respect. The forum reaffirmed its determination to work with Mr. President, the National Assembly, local government, the private sector, civil society organizations, traditional and religious institutions to build a nation defined by justice, opportunity, and shared prosperity for all.
To environment and health-related matters. Heaps of uncollected refuse continue to tarnish the beauty of Katsina's capital city, posing a growing threat to public health. The mountain waste, which has become an eyesore, litters major streets, public spaces, roads and markets, largely due to inadequate waste bins and poor collection services. In Katsina, Trust TV's Abdullahi Ahmadi explores the waste of official waste management and the urgent need for action to save residents from an imminent environmental crisis. His report.
This wasn't an environmental hazard comes with serious health implications, including the risk of disease outbreaks and environmental pollution, ultimately damaging the city's reputation. Residents and visitors alike have continued to raise concerns over indiscriminate refuse dumping, as well as sand and other debris spilling on major roads in the state capital. Many blame the challenge on what they describe as official negligence in evacuating the waste. We have tried to prevent this waste from accumulating and decomposing by reporting the issue to authorities regularly. But sadly, nothing has been done. The stench from the rubbish is unbearable. We are pleading with the State Environmental Agency to act quickly. It is difficult for us to address this on our own because we lack the facilities. All we can do is try to dispose of our waste properly. But the situation is really disturbing. The stench from decomposing refuse fills the air, while stray animals and scavengers roam freely around dump sites. Katsina, once regarded as one of the most organized and cleanest cities in northern Nigeria, has now become a visual and environmental nightmare for many. From Ahmadu Bello Way to Nagogo Road, through IBB Way up to Hayamadaki Road, heaps of waste dominate the landscape with little or no government intervention to remove them.
When this government of Malanduk Umar came on board, it met the agency with some daunting challenges, such as lack of adequate equipment for refuse evacuation. But God so kind, the governor was able to listen to our issues and was able to rehabilitate about 21 number of trucks. So, and with the ongoing developmental activities such as road expansions and then urbanization, population increase in the state capital. Our equipment and resources are overstretched.
Several residents who lamented the situation said they have repeatedly reported to the authorities, but nothing has changed.
First of all, the issue of environmental pollution in Nigeria generally, and maybe in this part of the country, can be said to be one of the very, very disturbing situations we find ourselves. Maybe, in my simple opinion, owing to some factors, among which are the issue of our attitudes as individuals or as Nigerians to personal hygiene and environmental hygiene. In most cases, you find that people only respect themselves by trying to keep themselves neat. But when you get closer to the environment, you find that the environment is actually unkept and very, very filthy.
Public health experts warn that the consequences of poor waste management go beyond aesthetics, as exposure to polluted air and unhygienic surroundings can lead to respiratory and other illnesses. With the city's population expanding, daily waste generation has risen significantly, overwhelming existing evacuation systems. Experts recommend consistent public awareness campaigns, stronger community participation, and the involvement of credible private companies in waste collection, stressing that residents deserve a cleaner, safer, and more habitable city. Abdullahi Ismail Ahmadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
For decades, the Niger Delta has borne the heavy cost of Nigeria's energy extraction. But for the people of Bile community in Rivers State, a new and alarming threat is literally bubbling up from beneath their feet, spreading fear and putting livelihoods at risk. Here's more in this report.
Since commercial oil exploration began in 1956, many communities in the Niger Delta have suffered environmental devastation. But in Bili town, residents say something entirely new is happening. The earth itself appears to be breathing gas. It began on November 11, 2025, with the persistent and unsettling release of what is believed to be a highly inflammable gas. 3 days later, community leaders alerted authorities and oil companies. A joint investigation visit took place on November 26th.
For nearly a month now, we have observed from the ground bubbling. We don't know exactly what it is because we have not ascertained it. It is bubbling all around. And we are fishermen. This is where we fish, we pick our primacles and all that.
The fear continues to grow as the bubbling spread, moving from the land into the river. Bili is within the rich OML 18 oil block, with a major flow station just 200 meters away and key pipelines, including the EGGS-2 network, passing through the areas. Yet, no one has confirmed where the gas leak is coming from.
For a JIV assessment on the 26th, and certain things were observed and recommendations were made. The first thing the NOSRA, staff that came in recommended was that first there is need for excavation to ascertain the root cause, to need to find out the root cause of what is actually happening here. Two, that there should be an air quality test, a soil test, and water test to know what is also happening. They also emphasized and insisted that this area be cordoned off because it is gas, it is flammable.
Beyond safety concerns, residents express deep frustration. Despite being a source of national economic power, Bili lacks essential services and infrastructure, a painful contradiction for a community surrounded by oil installations.
From what we can see, our water is already polluted, the soil is polluted, the air is polluted. I am really worried Look at this side of this period. You see the children. The pupils are already in schools are in session, and they're already at risk of this whole thing. This raises environmental health hazard.
The environment is not safe for us to learn because only the smell too, we cannot withstand it. So we need the immediate effect, how we can vacate these premises. For now that we are conducting our exam, we cannot just end the exam, but we need to finish it. And we also need to vacate this environment to conclude our exam.
It's really likelihood of respiratory tract infections that will affect a lot of our citizens. And then also there are teratogenic effects. Teratogenic effect means agents of birth defect because of the presence of gas in the air and then also in the water. It is very possible, you can also see it visually with your eyes, that the groundwater is really polluted now.
In the meantime, there are growing calls for urgent intervention to contain the bubbling gas hazard and to finally address years of environmental neglect. Each passing day deepens anxiety in a community already battling the scars of pollution. For the people of Bili, every bubble that rises to the surface is a troubling reminder that they are still waiting for safety, accountability, and justice.
You're also on to News Hour on Trust TV. When we return from the break, we'll take a look at experts. Lagos residents call for overhaul of Nigeria's healthcare system. Morning when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back to the news on Trust TV. Now a recap of our first stories. We told you that terrorists abduct 20, kill one onion farmer in fresh attacks on Borno community. We also told you that the ex-AGF, the former AGF Malami, former army chiefs Buratai and Farouk Yahaya have denied terror financing allegations. To more news. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has escalated its push to reclaim the seats of some Rivers State lawmakers who have announced their defection from the party for a second time, saying it will now trigger constitutional measures to retrieve the mandates the legislators abandoned. The party framed the repeated defections as a deliberate affront to the legislature and a violation of the 1999 Constitution. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Ini Emembong, the PDP recalled that the lawmakers had first defected, later reversed themselves, and have now re-announced their departure, a pattern the party described as politically choreographed. The party argued that the legislators' latest move was effectively a shift from one faction of the APC to another, not a genuine break from the PDP, noting that the individuals had long distanced themselves from the party's values even while holding its ticket. Emembong stressed that the PDP would now explore legal options to enforce constitutional sanctions that apply when lawmakers abandon the party that brought them into office. So in politics, former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Kola Olubodiyan, has formally resigned his membership of the party. Kola made the announcement in a statement posted on X on Saturday, accompanied by a letter dated December 5th, 2025, which he addressed to the chairman of Okekoko Ward 09, Kababunu Local Government, Kogi State. In the letter titled Notification of Membership Withdrawal, the former PDP spokesperson stated that after a personal review of his participation in the PDP, had concluded that it was time to quit. Kola expressed appreciation to the party's leadership for the opportunity to serve. The Young Progressives Party, YPP, has expelled a member of the House of Representatives, Uzokwe Peter, over alleged anti-party activities, even as the party elected new national officers to fill vacant positions. The decisions were contained in a communique issued at the end of the party's 24th Extraordinary National Executive Committee NEC meeting held in Abuja. The statements were signed by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Egbola Martins. According to the communique dated December 4, 2025, the NEC deliberated on the growth, unity and progress of the party. The party's highest decision-making organ endorsed the expulsion of Peter, who represents Nnewi North, Nnewi South, and Ekwusigo Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. NEC upheld the National Working Committee's earlier decision following multiple petitions and verified video evidence of anti-party activities constituting gross misconduct. In violation of Section 36, subsection 7, Article B, 4 and O, pages 70 and 71 of the party's constitution. Senate President Godswill Akpabio says he has not filed fresh charges against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Odoahan. Akpabio, in a statement by his Special Assistant on Media Jackson Udom, described as misleading and incorrect reports that the Senate President had just filed a 200 billion naira suit against her. The statement said the suit was filed over 3 months ago, adding that its progress was temporarily delayed by routine administrative processes and the normal judicial procedures. The Senate President reiterated that legal disputes are resolved in courtrooms, not through orchestrated narratives and staged outrage on social media platforms. He noted that the online applause Senator Akpoti-Odoahan habitually seeks cannot replace credible evidence, legal procedure, or judicial scrutiny. Akpabio maintained that it is time for Senator Akpoti-Odoahan to present the evidence she claims to possess before a court of competent jurisdiction, rather than relying on sensationalized commentary designed solely to attract sympathy and obscure the facts. Away from politics, in Lagos State, residents have expressed deep frustration over the poor condition of Nigeria's healthcare system, particularly government-owned hospitals. Many say the services they receive in public facilities have eroded their trust in the country's healthcare system. As a result, a growing number of people now turn to private hospitals where they believe they will receive better care. Here's more in this report.
Nigeria's healthcare system remains a major challenge, with many citizens feeling it continues to deteriorate. The situation has forced numerous patients to seek treatment abroad. Across the country, especially in public hospitals, patients complain of inadequate care. Many facilities are poorly equipped, understaffed, and lacking essential medical supplies. In some cases, the limited personnel are overwhelming or insufficiently trained, leading to delays and poor patient management. Residents say long waiting hours for even basic consultations have become normal, while essential medication is often unavailable. The problem is further worsened by the continuous departure of thousands of doctors and other medical professionals who relocate in search of better pay and working conditions.
Now, like those Malian people, the Guinea people, like if they go to hospital, maybe general hospital here, maybe they don't see proper treatment there, or private here, they rather go to Cotonou to go and take proper treatment there if they can't afford the Nigerian this thing, or they can't get proper drugs here. They go to Cotonou to their general hospital to go and take proper treatment. Like now, the government continue to commission hospital, which they don't fund.
Problem about the health sectors, like assuming we have some medical hospital beside me here for Ajegule Primary School. There is one time I visit them with my small complaint, but then give me letter to go Agege local government to go and submit it. Then they will take care of me. But true, sincerely, before I read that place, I started spending a lot of money. Even in private hospital, I cannot expect something like that.
Because of their selfish interest, they don't put the necessary people there. They go on I know you. Instead of putting a physician, they might bring a lawyer there they might bring a lawyer there to act as as a doctor. Actually, they don't put the necessary people there.
Yes, we have been in this team. We'll take person to general hospital now. They will say, this doctor will come, go and do this test, go and do this test. Then another doctor will come, you carry that one, put it down. You write another one, go and do this test. You just spending money, spending money. The money will be excess. I mean, if you go to a private hospital, they will tell you to do this, you do it, they check the thing, and they will treat the normal treatment. You will see the thing you are spending your money.
Many financially stable Nigerians, including top government figures, now travel to countries such as the United Kingdom and India for even basic health needs. Meanwhile, those who cannot afford such trips remain dependent on struggling services, often paying high fees in private hospitals or resorting to self-care. Health experts warn that unless Nigeria's health sector is given urgent priority through better funding, improved infrastructure, and staff welfare, the well-being of citizens will remain at the mercy of a broken system.
Former INEC chairman, Professor Atahiru Jega, has asked private universities in Nigeria to take a cue from the growth model and academic focus of Northeastern University, Gombe. He made this call during a courtesy visit to the institution. Hassan Koeli tells us more.
Professor Atahiru Jega was received at the university's council chamber by the Pro-Chancellor and founder, Dr. Sani Jauro, and other senior officials. In his welcome address, Dr. Jauro thanked Professor Jega for the visit and outlined the university's mission and progress so far. He said Northeastern University focuses on quality teaching, research, innovation, and moral discipline to raise responsible graduates.
It has been our dream to rekindle, to rejuvenate the culture of the university system. In fact, the first thing we did was to try to create, a new culture of seminars, symposia, debates. We even named our auditorium after the priest Balausu. In order for the academics to be inspired by the spirit of their fine, academic disposition, their deep research, their well-grounded nature in their own areas for specialization, and the original scholarship.
Professor Jega said he was impressed by the university's facilities, learning atmosphere, and academic direction. He noted that while many private universities chase profit, Northeastern University shows clear purpose, discipline, and focus on national growth.
I mean, from what I have seen, frankly, it's a clear, focused, visionary, and strategic investment. So which is commendable, but my advice is sustainability. Don't take too much and too many things which would become unsustainable. Create a niche and focus a lot of attention for sustainable development in that area.
He urged universities, both public and private, to give priority to student training, research output, and hands-on learning. After the meeting, Dr. Jauro led Professor Jega and his team on a tour of the campus. At the Center for African Medicinal Plant Research, Jega praised the laboratories, calling the investment in science rare and forward-looking. The team also visited Anas Armeau Anas Multimedia, Content Creation and Innovation Center, where Professor Jega granted an interview inside the university's television studio. Hassan Lawan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Nigeria's Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to supporting and strengthening traditional institutions across the country, describing them as vital to national unity, peace, and sustainable development. The assurance was given during a courtesy visit to the palace of the Emir of Gumel in Jigawa State, where His Royal Highness Emir Ahmed Mohammed Sani II celebrated his 45th year on the throne. Here's more.
Vice President Shettima commended traditional rulers for their critical role in promoting national cohesion and driving grassroots development. He pledged that the federal government will continue to empower the traditional institution to further contribute to nation building. Shettima congratulated the Emir of Gumel for his decades of service to the people and prayed for continued progress in the emirate. The Vice President also lauded the Jigawa State government's achievements in agriculture, noting that the state has been a strong partner in advancing the federal government's food security agenda and remains a leading example in agricultural transformation.
Here, beyond commemorating the 45th year in the soul of his ancestors of the Emir of Gumel, we are also here to celebrate the performance of Governor Umar Namadi, a governor who cultivated 105 hectares, 105,000 hectares of wheat. Is worthy of celebration, and we are here to identify with him and also to celebrate with the Emir. The governor of Jigawa is first among equals when it comes to agriculture. He has been at the vanguard of agricultural transformation in the northern part of the country. He understands the dynamics and he has expended resources towards seeing that the people are actively engaged. And this is part of the reason why Jigawa is an island of peace and stability in an ocean of instability.
The Vice President was accompanied on the visit by Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi, the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, the Sultan of Damagaram from Niger Republic, and the Emirs of Machina and Guru in Yobe State, as well as the Emirs of Adejia, Kazauri, Dusi, and Ringim. The Jigawa State Government is committed to supporting the federal government to ensure good governance and improve the well-being of the people. We appreciate the federal government for the efforts it is making to address insecurity across the country. Following the palace visit, Governor Namadi led the Vice President and other dignitaries to the inauguration of the newly constructed mosque built by the Kashim Shettima Foundation. The visit concluded with the Friday congregational prayers.
In business, the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, has threatened a fresh clampdown on unregistered point-of-sale POS operators in Nigeria from 1st of January 2026. The Commission said it observed a rising number of POS operators running without registration, violating CAMA 2020 and CBN agent banking regulations. In a statement on Saturday, the agency said all POS operators must be duly registered with the Commission or face immediate shutdown. It warned that no POS operator will be allowed to operate without CAC registration, adding that security agencies will enforce nationwide compliance. The statement further pointed out that these reckless practices, often enabled by some fintech companies, puts Nigeria's financial system and citizens' investments at risk, stressing that it must stop. Still in business, the chairman and managing director of Chevron Nigeria Mid-Africa Business Unit, Jim Swartz, on Friday said the company aims to grow its footprint in Nigeria, citing improved regulatory clarity under the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA). Swartz, speaking to reporters after meeting the upstream regulator, said the company will participate in the next licensing round as part of efforts to continue growing in Nigeria. Total Energies had also expressed interest in joining an auction. Chevron recently agreed to acquire a 40% stake in two offshore exploration licenses, PPL 2000 and PPL 2001, from Total Energies, and is seeking regulatory approval to accelerate development. The IOC also plans to deploy a drilling rig in late 2026 as it seeks to expand operations in Africa's top energy producer. Swartz said it will bring in a rig in late to drill a newly discovered resource near Agbami and extend leases on existing assets. And on the foreign scene, gunmen stormed a hostel in South Africa's capital, Pretoria, on Saturday, killing a dozen people, including a 3-year-old child, at a site police say was illegally selling alcohol. The attack is the latest in a string of mass shootings that have shocked the crime-weary country of 63 million people, which suffers one of the highest murder rates in the world. Police spokeswoman Atlande Mate said 10 had died at the scene in Soulsville Township, 80 kilometers west of Pretoria, while 2 died in hospital. She added that the 12th victim succumbed to injuries on Saturday afternoon. Marty said one 12-year-old boy and a 16-year-old female were also killed in the attack. Police say the motive was unknown and no arrests have been made, with a manhunt underway for the unidentified suspects. Tanzanian authorities have halted plans for fresh street demonstrations scheduled for next week, following weeks of deadly unrest that erupted after the country's contentious elections. The October 29 vote triggered widespread violence as opposition groups accused President Samia Suluhu Hassan of manipulating the results and unleashing security forces on critics. Hassan was declared winner with 98% of the vote. Human rights organizations and opposition figures alleged that more than 1,000 people were killed in the post-election crackdown, although the government has yet to release any official casualty figures. Despite tight censorship and government pressure, public outreach has persisted online, with activists urging nationwide protests on December 9. However, in a statement issued late Friday, police spokesperson David Misime announced that the planned demonstrations had been blocked. He said no individual or group had formally sought authorization for the rally as required by law. And for sports news, let's join Adeniyi Ajishafe.
The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC Handball team safety shooters and safety babes emerged champions of Adova Handball Premier League 2025 at the Indoor Sports Hall of the National Institute of Sport, Surulere, Lagos, in an elaborate finale. Safety shooters claimed the men's title for the first time since 2020 with 57 points from 20 matches, while safety babes edged their name deeper into Nigeria Handball League history, winning 5th consecutive women's championship. As the league's most dominant team in the history of Handball Premier League in Nigeria, safety babes had a 27-24 win over second-place Rima Queens to win the title. Adova Handball Premier League Phase 1 started in Benin City before the second phase in Lagos. And still in sport, Team Nigerian chess players comprised of Deborah Quickpen, Chiamaka Nwankwo, Zita Agwosionu, Jason Nwankwo, Olakito Legbede, Adeola Legbede, Banyefa Onyekiperemo, and Goodness Ekunke have departed for Harare, Zimbabwe to represent Nigeria at African Youth Chess Championship AYCC. Team Nigeria will compete against the likes of Egypt, Libya, Algeria, and Ghana, while others include Madagascar, Kenya, South Africa, and whole Zimbabwe. Tournament director explained further about the youth chess tourney.
So, as Zimbabwe Chess Federation, we've had the honor to be the hosting federation for this African Youth Chess Championship, the 60th edition. We are now ready, in fact more than ready, to host all the nations that are coming in through. We had 17 countries in confirmation to come through for this tournament, and our preparedness is actually at a high level now. The arbiters are now checking into the country. We are receiving the players and the accompanying persons. Some have already started coming in, and come Saturday it's going to be a hype of activity, receiving all our players and all our guests and putting them in the designated places. And the convent has also been chosen as the arena where the games are going to be played, and Convent has actually done a good job in providing a high-class standard for chess playing over the coming days from the 6th to the 14th of December, where chess brilliance is going to be showcased by the young minds that have converged to play chess in Zimbabwe.
The 2025 African Youth Chess Championship features 10 to 18 years chess players that will run its 16th edition since inception. That's Sport News. I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe.
Before we go, here's a kicker. Bordering her family's rubber plantation on the outskirts of Abidjan, young Ivorian designer Rebecca Zoro is tapping into her creative roots. Her brand, Yebe Design, has already dressed global celebrities, and today she's making waves on the international fashion scene. Take a look.
After studying fashion design in Morocco, Zoro founded Yebe Design in 2015, seeking to build an industry with significant economic potential in Africa. Côte d'Ivoire is the third largest producer of cotton fiber on the continent, and for Zoro, the opportunity lies in transforming Africa's cultural wealth into sustainable economic power. Her model blends indigenous design, local manufacturing, and storytelling that showcases African heritage and style. My vision for fashion as an Ivorian designer is really about expressing what I've known since childhood. The way my mother dressed, how I saw my aunts and sisters, that entire world that shaped me. It's about highlighting and sharing our fabric to show that here we have our own sense of style, no matter the situation. By anchoring a global brand in Ivorian culture and powered by e-commerce, Zoro is contributing to Africa's shifts from exporting raw commodities to creating high-value products. When a woman learns a craft or gains knowledge, she also learns to believe in herself, and through these experiences, she can grow and build her own business. Zoro's design philosophy is inseparable from the traditions of resilience and entrepreneurship spirit that define her family.
And that's it for News Hour TV. For more of our news programs, documentaries, please do to follow our social media platforms and our YouTube live streams. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good night.